Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys. We are switching things up today with SWAPMEAT. This is a new action roguelike shooter game that just released in its 1.0 version. Yeah, let's just hop right into it. Just a disclosure, I'm going to be playing on the normal difficulty, so the default one. There's an easy mode as well as a hard mode that you can play on. So choose whichever you prefer to actually play on. I'm just going to be using the normal difficulty just to give you guys a standard idea of what the default settings are like. And then just looking at the different planets you can go to, we're going to be selecting System 1. There's 3 planets that you're going to be exploring, and we're going to be fighting through the boss monster Frankenbeans. So this is the first set that you usually start with. And then you can select any of these pods to drop into a game. Doesn't matter which one, it'll take you to the same place either way. And then we're going to just be using these starting weapons, the pistol and the rifle. These are the first 2 you get when starting out in the game. So let's jump right in. Right away, it's going to take you to the first planet. It's going to be the same planet each time. And it's going to just drop you into a random spot. Looking at the top of the screen, there are different symbols on the map that's going to point you to. The yellow hexagon is the primary directive. And then the white hexagons are just side directives. I definitely recommend checking these out. These are going to give you extra stamina to help you level up, as well as just upgrade your weapons over time. Again, this is a roguelike, so you really don't want to check out places to get extra experience where you can. I wouldn't recommend checking out every side directive just because it's going to take you out of the way a lot, but definitely check these out. It is timed, remember, so there's a timer at the top of the screen. When the timer runs out, there's extra enemies that spawn that are really hard to defeat. So you're going to want to be really time efficient in this game. And then also the biggest piece of advice I will recommend right away is just moving around and conserving as much health as possible. There is only one healing station on each planet that you can use. So definitely just keep an eye on your health bar. The health bar is going to be in the bottom left corner of the screen, the white bar. And then the blue bars are going to be your durability for each body part that you have. So the whole concept of this game is switching out body parts of defeated enemies. So you can see I already got a spine from one of the enemies. There's going to be 3 body parts that you can swap out: the head, the torso, and the legs. Each one is going to give you a different ability, displayed at the bottom of the center of the screen. Okay, so here's another torso. You really want to try to get new body parts as soon as possible when you jump in, just because the starting ones aren't that great. So we do have a head and a torso already. So now we're going to want to get a pair of legs. There we go. So now it's our character to start off with. These are our body parts. You can continue to get different ones if you don't like the ones that you got. And then these yellow glowing guys, when you defeat them, they drop mystery boxes. They give you one-time use items that you can use in battle or any other time you want. This green one that we picked up, the syringe, is a healing item. Is the only other way to heal outside of using the breeding station. So yeah. So now we have arrived at our first primary objective. It's just going to have either green egg sacs or these like pink gooey guys that you saw at the other location I was at. And every time you hit one, it does spawn smaller enemies, so you want to make sure to keep moving around and be careful of your surroundings, because they will swarm you if it gets to be too much. In the top right corner of the screen, you can notice that that shows the mission for the primary objective, so it'll show you how many egg sacs you have to defeat. And then if you ever have trouble finding some, because they're hidden behind walls or around corners or on ceilings, although all the primary enemies are pointed out with these red arrows, so you can kind of see me looking around, and it shows the distance and where they're at. Okay, so we got our first level up, so I'm going to pick to upgrade my pistol. Actually, I think that was my second pick. Again, you don't have to stay and defeat all the smaller enemies because they're not going to give you as much experience as just completing side objectives as well as the primary directives. So you kind of just want to move on. Defeat a few enemies along the way. Again, just taking note of where you are time-wise. There are other things you can do in this game, like mining materials or fishing, but we're not going to be showing that today. I'm just going to be clearing out the main game. And then besides the starting weapons you get, you also get this spatula as well, which is a melee attack. Forgot to mention that before. So my torso lost all its durability, so I did lose a body part, so now I'm just a head and legs. So I'm going to want to try to defeat an enemy to collect all of them. When you run out of one body part, you start taking a lot more damage to your primary health. So again, try to collect 3 body parts as soon as possible. And this is the point of the video where I try to welcome new people to the channel, so welcome. If you have any suggestions, I'm just starting out on YouTube, for those that don't know me, so definitely leave a comment down below if you'd like to leave any suggestions on what kind of games you'd like to see. I'm someone who likes to play a lot of roguelikes or different wacky games, as you can see. There we go, we cleared the second primary directive, so we're just going to move on. Go over and clear this secondary objective over here, just to gain a little bit more experience. There we go. Level up. Before we head over, I'm just gonna get one more mystery box from this guy over here. And the third directive is where you're gonna find the health station. It's usually always located right at the third objective. Not always in the same place, but it should be in the same general facility. I'm gonna wait to get that till afterwards because you don't need to heal up just yet. Remember, just dodge around as much as possible. Those ships, if they see you in the lights, will just drop additional enemies. Just be wary of that. Okay. One more thing I will let you guys know is that this game comes with the auto assist for aiming on. So if you don't want to play with aim assist, definitely turn that down. I remember when I was first starting out, it is kind of aggressive at times, where it forces you to shoot enemies that you probably don't want to be aiming at. Like right here, if I had it turned on, it would be trying to force me to hit the smaller guys instead of the boss. Cleared it out. Healing station now. That's going to be symbolized by that white symbol with the plus in it, kind of like what you'd expect from a health symbol. You definitely have to be careful collecting items. Sometimes that require you to hold a button because enemies will still try to attack you the entire time, as you can see. So definitely always be aware of your surroundings in this game. So now we're gonna head to the last directive. And the last one on this world is gonna be kind of like a raid, where you have to collect this final object to create the world and move on to the next planet. That's why we're doing it now. Collecting again as much experience along the way as we can, while not taking too much damage. So this is what's called the meat core, this little blocky rock looking thing in the center. It's actually just a few pounds of meat we're going to want to collect. Sometimes you have to clear out a few enemies before you can activate it. Just because again, the game doesn't pause when you're collecting items. There we go. So now your ship is going to drop down, collect the meat, and then you kind of have to wait for the time to run through. So you can leave the planet. And defend these 4 stations as much as you can. The green bars inside each one is basically its health bar. I will let you know, you don't have to have all of them at the end, but ideally try to protect them as much as possible. Let you know when too many enemies are coming up, but also when you're about to clear the world as well. Yeah, so we're not doing the best job. You lost 2 of them. So the meat core did get collected. So now we kind of just wait. It's going to drop down these pods. It doesn't matter which one you get into. They all lead to the same place. The reason they give you 4 is for if you're actually playing on multiplayer. Yeah, that is the first planet.
That's how you do it.
Okay, so now I'll give you stats on how you did it in the first planet. So obviously how many primary directives you cleared, the side directives, materials gathered. We didn't really do that. But you're going to want to collect materials if you're playing at home yourself, just because that is how you collect money as well as upgrade your gear. Okay. So dropping into the second planet, the first thing to notice is it did reset our body, so you'll always go back to the starting gear and body parts that you began with. Although the weapons are still upgraded, and all your level up materials will still be the same. Just get out of the water. The first thing you want to do is make your way over to the surfboard. So the surfboard is basically a free pair of legs that you can use to surf around the planet on. And you can collect as many as possible. You can just keep doing that. It's always going to give you the same pair of legs, essentially. So now I'm just going to do the same thing as in the last world. Where I was complete some side directives on my way to the primary one. Just gain a little bit extra experience and stat boosts. There you go. Every now and then you will run into these item containers. They are booby traps. They do have items in there, but we're just me moving on because I'm not going to deal with those enemies right now. They're not too hard to defeat. And just one other thing to notice about the legs that you gather, these surfboard, they move around a lot better in the water. So once you get to land, you're going to have a hard time moving around sometimes. So they're pretty slow. Different legs are built for different environments. So the spider legs obviously help you walk off walls. The wheels move pretty quickly on land. So again, use those red arrows to find the correct enemies that you need to find. Okay, these water orbs that you see in the water, these you can actually fish at once you unlock the fishing rod. I'm not going to show you that today. Again, that is another item where you don't want to be aware of your surroundings, so, because you do get swarmed sometimes by enemies if you're staying put too much. That's why we're not doing that today. Go another level up. There's also these sandstorms that you're going to dodge by trucking out there. I'm just going to collect one of these mystery boxes before I go to the next objective. Now I was kind of trying to kill flies just to collect the torso. So these wings are really good for just moving around the world. Probably one of the best torsos you can get. You can get that from any fly creature. There's tons of different fly creatures in the game, but just letting you guys know if you're having trouble moving around, you'll nice to have these, just because they give you multiple jumps. And follow yourself around the area a lot easier. Also, it lets you dodge stuff pretty well because it gives you additional dodge. There we go. So we're just going to move on to the next directive right away. This game does come with quite a wide variety of body parts, so definitely feel free to switch things up and experiment with whichever ones you guys kind of like the most. Again, I already have kind of like my partial pieces that I like the most, like the fly's wings. Definitely feel free to check out all the other body parts as well. They all do different things. They all have different uses. So for this world, there's two different options for the third directive in this game. This is the first option. The other option is you have to basically throw rocks into these sewer pipes. For this one, usually you just clear out all the enemies and then you just walk over to these devices and you unlock them. So that one was really easy just because we had the shield. And then we have to defeat a lot more enemies. And just like the last planet, the third directive is right by where the healing station is. Oh. Yeah, watch out for those rocks falling from the volcano, I guess. I'm just gonna head over and heal really quick. I thought I collected a mission report. I think I collected it right before getting hit by the rock. I'm just gonna reset the durability on my legs really quick. And head over. Just gonna take that and get away as fast as possible. We don't need to collect any more level ups, I don't think. I will collect one more mystery box also. Just gonna pop the healing right away. So now we're gonna collect the meat core again, just like last time. Again, I just want to defend it as much as you can. Shift parts the meat core.
Hostile creatures approaching.
Collecting different body parts can sometimes be useful in battle just because it resets the cooldown on your attacks. So keep that in mind. Definitely be open to collecting new body parts if you need to. I didn't mention it before, but you probably already noticed, but your health bar actually does carry over from world to world. So just because we're about to clear this planet doesn't mean you should be trying to go and be reckless. So definitely, again, try to conserve as much as possible. So we do have one more planet to go. So that's been extracted. And you don't have to defeat every enemy in every single situation. Perfect. So at the very top of the screen you can see we defeated the first 2 planets, cleared them out. Now we're going to go to the 3rd planet. The 3rd planet is a lot more simple. The 3rd planet just has the boss monster on it. So now we're going to be taking on Frankenbeans. And we'll be walking through how to best defeat him. It's not a crazy hard strategy or anything. So again, our body has been reset. There is one healing station you get right before fighting the boss. But again, the healing station doesn't heal you necessarily to full health every time. As soon as you get into it, you immediately want to start shooting them. There are going to be smaller guys that spawn at some point that you can collect body parts from, but just for now you want to use just your ranged attacks to get into damage early on. For this attack, you definitely want to back up. It is too hard to jump over all of them if you were too close. Same principle as the last 2 planets. Conserve health as much as possible. That is the name of the game for sure. That Stonehenge guy drops a head that you're going to want to fling at the enemy. It does do a decent amount of damage, but what you want to do is you want to throw it when they're charging up the beam in one of their arms. Or one of their tentacles, I guess I should say. You could actually just flat out do damage to him to defeat it, but taking on his tentacles works the best. That's going to be the easiest way to defeat him. So that is how he does some of his attacks. Actually missed there. That's okay. So now you just want to dodge this beam. our torso. So we're gonna crush one as soon as we can. There we go. So I'm gonna take out his last tentacle. And immediately when you take out his last tentacle, he does lose all his health. Again, you don't need to do that. You can just get his health bar down to 0. But those are the 2 ways to defeat Frankenbeans. And that is the first system of planets. So I just want to say thank you for joining me again for another video. If you guys have any suggestions, comments, just feel free to leave them down in the comment section. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.